May 1787. 55 men quietly walk into the Pennsylvania State House and firmly lock the heavy wooden doors behind them. They deliberately nail the tall windows shut, trapping themselves in the sweltering, suffocating summer heat. Why endure such misery? Because they are committing a secret political coup. They are deeply terrified of British spies or angry citizens hearing their treasonous whispers. They were sent here merely to fix the weak, failing Articles of Confederation. Instead, they plan to completely destroy the old laws and forge an entirely new, incredibly powerful national government from scratch. Today, we step inside the secret room where America was truly born. We will witness the brilliant manipulations of a frail scholar, the silent intimidation of a legendary general, and the fierce, bitter compromises that barely saved the United States from total collapse. The driving force behind this secret coup is a quiet, physically fragile, 36-year-old man named James Madison. Madison arrived in Philadelphia weeks before anyone else. He spent months relentlessly studying the rise and fall of ancient republics. He knows exactly why democracies fail, and he brings a brilliant, highly complex blueprint to prevent American ruin. But Madison knows he lacks the physical presence to command the room. He needs a powerful symbol to legitimize this highly controversial gathering. He needs the ultimate American hero. George Washington initially refused to attend. He wanted to remain retired at his comfortable plantation. But the horrifying violence of Shays' rebellion deeply shook him. Fearing the complete destruction of the nation, he fought to build Washington, reluctantly rides into Philadelphia. The delegates, immediately and unanimously, elect him to preside over the convention. Washington sits in the high chair at the front of the room. For 4 grueling months, he rarely speaks a single word. However, his imposing silent presence is absolutely essential. His intense glare alone prevents the fiercely divided politicians from erupting into physical violence. With Washington keeping order, Madison's allies launch their opening strike. The governor of Virginia presents a radical new framework for the national government. It proposes a powerful, centralized system divided into 3 distinct branches: an executive, a legislative, and a judicial branch. The most controversial part of this proposal involves the legislative branch. It suggests a 2-house legislature where the number of representatives for each state is based entirely on its population size. The large, wealthy states absolutely love this idea, as it guarantees them supreme political dominance over the entire continent. The delegates from the smaller states are immediately outraged. They realize that under this new system, massive states like Virginia and Pennsylvania will completely dictate national policy. Small states like Delaware and New Jersey will be permanently crushed and ignored. A delegate named William Paterson furiously strikes back. He presents a counter-proposal demanding a single legislative house, where every single state receives exactly 1 vote, regardless of its population size or wealth. The convention completely derails. The division between the large and small states creates an incredibly toxic, hostile environment. By mid-July, the sweltering heat inside the sealed room becomes completely unbearable. The men are wearing heavy wool suits. They are sweating profusely, utterly exhausted, and thoroughly furious. The small states threaten to walk out entirely and seek foreign alliances to protect themselves. The American experiment is on the absolute brink of total dissolution. If this convention fails, the continent will shatter into dozens of weak, warring factions, making them easy prey for aggressive European empires waiting across the ocean. In this moment of severe crisis, the oldest man in the room asks to speak. Benjamin Franklin is 81 years old and suffering from agonizing gout. He must be carried into the hall on a special chair. Franklin looks at the angry, divided men. He warns them that their stubborn pride is about to destroy the last best hope for human liberty. He urges them to swallow their egos and find a middle path. He wisely notes that when a carpenter wishes to fit 2 boards together, he must shave a little wood from both. Inspired by Franklin's urgent plea, a quiet, practical delegate from Connecticut named Roger Sherman steps forward. He offers a brilliant, highly effective solution to save the convention. Sherman proposes a mixed system, pulling the best elements from both warring sides. The legislative branch will indeed be divided into 2 separate houses. The lower house, the House of Representatives, will allocate seats based entirely on population, satisfying the large states. However, the upper house, the Senate, will operate on the principle of absolute equality. Every state, massive or tiny, will receive exactly 2 senators. The tension in the room finally breaks. The massive hurdle is cleared. But solving the representation issue exposes an even darker, deeply tragic divide. The southern states demand that their enslaved populations be counted to increase their political power in the House of Representatives. The northern delegates are thoroughly disgusted. They argue it is completely hypocritical to deny people basic human freedom while simultaneously using them for political gain. To keep the southern states from abandoning the new nation, the delegates forge a horrific, highly toxic bargain. They agree to count enslaved individuals as 3/5 of a person for representation purposes. This devastating compromise embeds a permanent flaw into the foundation of the Republic, guaranteeing a future catastrophe. On September the 17th, 1787, after 4 months of agonizing debate, 39 weary delegates stepped forward to sign the final document. As the last men signed their names, Benjamin Franklin points to a sun painted on the back of George Washington's chair. He tells the room that, throughout the long bitter summer, he often wondered if that sun was rising or setting. Now he happily declares he knows it is a rising sun. The Constitution is written. But a piece of paper has no real power until the people accept it. The delegates must now convince a highly suspicious American public to surrender their local power to this new national government. A massive, ferocious political war is about to erupt in the newspapers. We will witness the epic battle for ratification in the next episode. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel.